was young Dean Campbell, 18 years of age. He made his first start for Aberdeen in the replay at Ibrox in the last round. But Celtic this season, holders of this tournament, they have looked as imperious as ever. Craig Thompson takes charge. He's done 3 Scottish Cup finals, and this is his 16th occasion refereeing an Aberdeen versus Celtic match. Well, as every time Celtic play a knockout game, they put their record to the test. The treble is on the line today, but these are the occasions that they tend to raise their game for. Heart of Midlothian lie in wait. It's the second William Hill Scottish Cup semi-final, Aberdeen against Celtic, and it has all the makings of a Hampden Park classic. For Neil Lennon, just appointed at the end of February. What an opportunity for him to finish off the treble. The league looks all but there. The Scottish Cup becomes a major part of his and Celtic's ambitions. Mikael Lustig clears long, and Scott McKenna opting to leave that one for Odsonne Edouard, and now arriving in pace is Callum McGregor. Forrest is in the middle, and what a challenge that was from Andrew Considine.
Well, really good break from Celtic. Forrest, he got the burners on, but this was a brilliant challenge from Considine. In fact, McGregor pulls the ball back. Considine, he has to get there. He does get there, catches Forrest in the process.
Well, and worryingly for Celtic, James Forrest had stayed down for a while. He's now just back up to his feet, but a lively opening 60 seconds here at Hampden Park.
Well, it's just a warning sign for Aberdeen. If you overcommit and leave space, the pace of Forrest, the pace of Edouard can cause them all sorts of trouble.
Again, and away by Scott McKenna, a man who attracted more than just interest from Celtic last summer. Lustig again looking long, and it's straight to McKenna. A couple of big centre-backs for Aberdeen who will happily lap up the high balls into Edouard, and Cosgrove putting pressure on Jozo Simunovic.
He doesn't have the greatest pace, Sam Cosgrove, so they need to be pretty exact getting balls into him, making sure they get runners off him, the likes of May.
Well, both teams know this scenario so well. It's really up to Aberdeen to change the tide in these fixtures. Three finals rather between them, all won by Celtic in the last couple of seasons, and then including this one as well, with the League Cup final won by that solo Ryan Christie strike.
It's important Dean Campbell wins those little knockdowns. Celtic have been, a couple of balls have gone direct. Make sure he's switched on.
Opens up nicely here for Simunovic. They're going all the way. Oh, what a save it was from Joe Lewis to deny the Croatian.
Well, what is going on there with Simunovic? Drives the space, little step over there. And it's creeping in. It's a really smart save, Stephen, from Joe Lewis down to his left-hand side. Keeps Aberdeen in it.
It's too easy, isn't it, as well? Derek McInnes will be furious. His game plan will have been to be solid, be strong, be hard to play against. They haven't started that way.
probably the last man you'd expect to see striding forward there, and now the corner goes in and across. It's another big chance early on for Celtic, and Jozo Simunovic once again with his head in his hands.
Well, he should score. Sloppy from Aberdeen from the corner. I think it's a touch from Ayer. Gets across the near post space. Simunovic gets the run. He has to score. Hits the target. He does score. It's a horrible miss.
Yet again, it's a big let-off for Aberdeen. You know, they've been renowned for being resilient, being difficult to play against. They haven't started this game well at all.
He's only scored twice in over 100 appearances since signing for the club in 2015, Jozo Simunovic, but he almost had two in the space of a minute there.
It was too easy driving through the midfield. Are we seeing the shinny factor? They're obviously going to miss him, Aberdeen, but Campbell and Ferguson have to make sure that they are disciplined.
Yeah, I think on the flip side, Neil Lennon will be delighted with the start that his side have made. Showed great intensity about their play and causing Aberdeen issues.
There's McGregor and Dean Campbell trying to get close to him. He's one that could really make Celtic tick.
A handball that from Ball, shoulder to shoulder.
Christie goes down and breaks away of Hayes. Entering the box now, Johnny Hayes takes a touch on its way across.
Really good from Hayes. Good bit of pace there. I think he's tried to shoot. A bit better suited to pull that back.
It's with McGregor again. To the middle. McKenna just trying to get some respite for Aberdeen, because it's been all Celtic so far, and this is Kieran Tierney. Dom Ball away, and Christie with the snapshot half volley that drifts well over the top.
Very optimistic from Christie. Good start from Celtic. It's important. Aberdeen hang on in there, but here is a golden opportunity. I think he sees it all the way. Does it come off? Dom Ball. I think it would have been cleared anyway from Campbell on the post. Celtic should be ahead.
This will have been Derek McInnes's fear when you're missing the likes of Shinnie and Nam, again, experienced players who can enjoy and thrive in the big occasion. The young players of Campbell and Ferguson, could be too much for them.
Fire away. Yeah, Graham Shinnie misses out after picking up a second yellow card. Aberdeen have played 5 games in the competition, a replay against Stenhousemuir and then a replay against Rangers. Just the 2 yellow cards in 5 games. It is a brutal process. Similar happened with Cole Donaldson of Inverness yesterday, and he missed out on a big Hampden outing. Now Greg Stewart bundled over by Brown, and that'll be a free kick.
Brainless, really, from Brown. Putting Stewart under pressure. Just doesn't need to do that, because this is a strength for Aberdeen. Good from set pieces. Considine McKenna go forward.
Stevie May and Greg Stewart over this one. May leaves it for Stewart. Turned away from McGregor, now looking to have a run at Forrest. It's well defended by James Forrest. He looked to have been pulled over as well.
Just took his time to blow there, Craig Thompson. Good little shift initially from Stewart. Forrest read it, was brought down.
I think that was a bit of a mismatch there, but Chris, you're right. You know, from the free kick, Aberdeen go and put it in. Your strength is, you know, the physicality of McKenna, Cosgrove, Considine. I think I've let Celtic off the hook.
Here goes Ayer now. He's the one striding forward from the heart of that Celtic defence.
I don't know why Edouard comes off there. Should be looking to probe in behind. Stay on the shoulder.
Such a young Aberdeen side. They don't have that experience of some of the heavy defeats that have gone in the past to Celtic. The likes of Scott McKenna 22, Max Lowe 21, Ferguson, Campbell and McLennan all still teenagers.
Yeah, it's only Considine, isn't it? The 7, was he part of the 9?
I think he might have been. He's been there for such a long time, Andrew Considine. Lowe comes in to take that away from Edouard. Now it's with Hayes, who's switched over to the right-hand side. Forrest now at the back post, but that's over the top of Christie.
They've been relentless, Celtic, so far in this opening 11 minutes, and moved the ball very well. I think the slight issue for Aberdeen is Derek McInnes has tried to simplify the job of Lewis Ferguson and Dean Campbell. They're both man-marking against Callum McGregor and Ryan Christie, and it's just the two Celtic players are pulling them apart and leaving lots of space for Celtic to play in.
Cosgrove and Tierney just got there ahead of Stewart. Wondered how the three behind Cosgrove might set up. At the moment it's Stewart out to the right and May in the middle with McLennan out left. You can expect that trio to interchange throughout the game. Well, Lee Griffiths unavailable for selection today, but he is on his way back in training, and we all look forward to seeing him back out on the pitch doing what he does best. And for Graham Shinnie too, what a big loss he will be for Aberdeen in the centre of the park, but he will be hoping as skipper of the club that his side can do the business and get him to the final in May to lift the trophy with Inverness. Here's McKenna. Ball has been a part of a semi-final side victorious over Celtic, that penalty shootout win for Rangers in 2016. Didn't play the final though. The dramatic scenes as Hibernian won the cup for the first time since 1902. Long it goes from McLennan, and May chasing that down. Remains calm.
Celtic high line. It's important that Aberdeen have that threat in behind.
I think having Stevie May in that position, you know, he's got the energy and the pace to run beyond. If Sam Cosgrove wants to come short, he's got to be the one then that goes and joins in.
On loan from Derby County. He's had an excellent season in the red of Aberdeen. And it's a loose ball for Scott Brown to pick up, and clipped by Lewis Ferguson.
I think he likes to try and make his mark on the game, Lewis Ferguson, at times. He's had a couple of missed-timed tackles. He's full of energy, full of enthusiasm. He's got to be the experienced head, even though he's only 19, with only Dean Campbell beside him.
A little bit of history there. Betfred Cup final, those two.
His dad Derek never picked up a Scottish Cup winners medal, but Uncle Barry got 5 of them. There's Ayer to Brown. Now Shimunovic. Kieran Tierney. Tierney again looks for the return for Christie, and he just ran over the top of Ferguson on his way through.
And it's good from Ferguson, you know, matching runs. How often do you see young players dropping runners, not wanting to do the ugly side of the game? So he's going to have a big game ahead of him. He's got to match runs in behind. He's got to get close to people, and he's got to try and start the play if he possibly can, Lewis Ferguson.
Heart of Midlothian supporters and players will be looking on with interest. They've got their place safely booked after yesterday's convincing second-half display.
I wonder who they want to win, Rory, today.
Well, Edward trying to get Celtic in behind.
That's good to see from Edward. I think too often he shows defeat. He has really good pace. He needs to play on the shoulder and make runs in behind, just like that.
Interesting stat that I saw. Hearts haven't played Celtic in a Scottish Cup final since 1956. 86 since they last played Hearts. Last played Aberdeen, rather.
To Shimunovic.
Tierney back to Christopher Ayer. Tierney calls Christie short. Set-ups for his Norwegian colleague.
This is how we imagined Aberdeen would set up. You know, they wouldn't overcommit. It'd be hard to play against people behind the ball.
And just creeping forward, Celtic. It's with Forrest, but Ferguson going all the way with him. The clearance picked up by Ayer and then stolen back by May. Good feet from Greg Stewart. He can find Cosgrove, and McLennan is out wide left of him. And it couldn't quite find the way of the youngster, and Mikael Lustig got a foot in.
Lovely play from Greg Stewart.
Quickly taken, McLennan.
Celtic switched off from the throw-in.
Dom Ball takes control. Now Stewart is trying to take it for a walk. He's got Brown and Tierney for company, and it will be a Celtic throw as it comes off Greg Stewart, the man on loan from Birmingham City.
We saw what he was capable of. Lovely languid pass. Here was the chance from the throw-in. Lustig really switches off. It's half an opportunity for McLennan.
Fifth meeting of the season between the two sides. Had a classic encounter on Boxing Day, finished 4-3 to Celtic. Last one a 0-0 at Celtic Park. Aberdeen have been improving their record in Glasgow this season. They've won 3 times, but it's a different story against those wearing hoops.
I think Craig Thompson's going to have a word with Lewis Ferguson. You know, he's had 2 or 3 fouls already. I know he's keen to impress, He wants to leave his mark in the game, but he can't win every tackle, he can't win every ball, so he's just going to have to be a bit more patient.
Kieran Tierney for Celtic. Ball watching it well, and Stewart into Ferguson. Back it comes for Greg Stewart, but breakdown there for Aberdeen.
Caught in two minds there, Greg Stewart. Importance of those early opportunities for Celtic. Simunovic, they haven't been clinical enough under Neil Lennon.
I think at times, Chris, they've almost kept teams alive, haven't they? They always kept teams in games because they haven't put their opportunities away. They've had to rely on late goals, Celtic, which is a great characteristic to have, but I'm sure Neil Lennon would rather his team go 2 or 3-0 up and enjoy the game.
Down is Tierney. Now Hayes. One of 3 former Aberdeen players in the Celtic lineup. Christie, 1, and a third being Scott Bain, who started out as a youngster there. Corner kick to Celtic.
Lustig just got the run on. Good ball from Scott Brown. Aberdeen going man for man. Allen, to his credit, got back. He saw Celtic create a big opportunity from the last corner on this side.
There's an intensity about the whole atmosphere inside Hampden. It's delivered in all the way to the back post, and Odsonne Edouard will get there, and Ferguson goes down. It is just a throw. Ferguson not happy with the Frenchman. And a bit of afters between the two.
Silly from Ferguson to get involved, and Edouard to react. I thought it was a foul from Ferguson. Aberdeen do get the throw. Edouard gets his body in. Those are coming together. He's lucky to get away with that one.
Best of pals, those two. Stewart. Just that little confrontation has brought the Aberdeen fans to voice. And Bain gets that away before Stevie May could disrupt his clearance. McLennan did well. Now Dean Campbell did make his debut 2 years ago against Celtic. It's now just his 10th appearance for the club, as in goes Brown. A full-blooded challenge from him. Well won as well. Tierney now breaking forward. Forrest. That draws Considine out from the middle, so Ball has to go in and fill the hole. Forrest looking for the space. He goes past Considine. Now Craig Thompson is over, and now what's the decision? James Forrest will be going into the book here for simulation.
Well, Neil Lennon is furious. From where we are, I thought there was a little tug there, enough of him to go down in that manner. I think there should have been a free kick. I think he's unlucky in that situation. There is a little pullback. It's outside the box.
Listen, there's no doubt there's contact. But if Craig Thompson thinks there's an over-exaggeration from James Forrest to go down under the contact, I think that's why he's possibly given the yellow card. Is it a free kick? Yes, it is. No doubt about it. But I think the dive forward may have made his mind up.
Šimunović with the header forward, returned by Considine, and Brown got a touch there and went over. No reason to halt the game though. McKenna. And Ball towards Cosgrove. Ayer got a push, and it's all just a little bit unsavoury. There's a lot of hot heads out there.
Well, that's a feisty affair. That's what we want to see, and in fairness, I think Aberdeen have gotten away with a few, so they'll carry on.
Ayer can step forward. Hayes looking for help from Tierney, comes off an Aberdeen player. Christie offers himself from the throw. Tierney, he's done well to beat two, looking to beat a third. Stands it up two for Edward. Great block coming in, looked like McKenna with it.
Really top defending. But how good was that from Kieran Tierney on the left-hand side? Then picked out Edward, who on the turn tried to get his shot away. McKenna didn't dive in, stayed on his feet. Crucial block.
Tierney again. Plenty of possession for Celtic. Šimunović to Brown. It's 25 minutes that has flown by so far. Forrest closed down well by Max Lowe.
Yeah, you just feel Celtic are building up a head of steam again. They're moving the ball well. They're isolating the Aberdeen defenders 1v1. And the young Aberdeen defenders can't cope at the minute. Kieran Tierney's been decent. James Forrest's been lively. Johnny Hayes, we've already watched skip by players. So I feel as if it's just a matter of time for Celtic to get this breakthrough.
First Scottish Cup meeting since the 2017 final between these two. That took one of the most dramatic moments in the competition's history from Tom Rogic to win it so late on. A foul here, and Dominic Ball will be next into the book for that foul on Hayes.
Well, Ball doesn't get the ball. I'm not so sure that warranted a yellow card in that situation, but he's put himself under pressure. It's Hayes and Forrest will get the ball and keep driving at him.
I think Kieran Tierney has just given Johnny Hayes that message, Chris, actually. Pointing at him and telling him, go and take him on.
Jozo Šimunović, those two early opportunities. One he made himself, the other from the corner, which he probably should have scored. Celtic's best moments. Ayer now looking over the top as McGregor tried to break rank from the midfield, and Dean Campbell was matching him all the way.
I think that would be one disappointment for Neil Lennon. McGregor hasn't gotten on the ball enough for Celtic. He's their spark, their playmaker.
But it's quite clear to see Aberdeen know that if they allow Celtic into the rhythm, they will cause them problems. Hence the reason why they're stopping the game, making fouls, trying to upset them.
Here's Conor McLennan trying to make things happen for the Dons. Scott McKenna. Found Max Lowe. Campbell. McKenna again. Both Campbell and McKenna actually playing in the SFA Youth Cup final here last season. A defeat to Hibernian for Aberdeen.
The instruction from Derek McInnes, don't let McGregor get on the ball and get his head up.
Shamunovic. Christopher Ayer. Happy to allow the two centre-backs to have it, but not to allow them to break forward, as both will look to do. And Hayes has picked out Shamunovic here, and he's got a big hole to run into. Christie. Down goes Sam Cosgrove. Play on, says Craig Thompson. It's with Hayes now. Hodgson Edouard. Andrew Considine providing the shadow for Edouard. It's Shamunovic again. Edouard. Christie leaves it. It's McGregor.
Celtic are getting their joy. One of the centre-halves steps in. Shamunovic does really well. Good ball from Edouard. Clever little over. We've seen McGregor strike them before, put under pressure.
It's just a real understanding between that front 3 or 4 players of Celtic. They know each other's game, they're experienced. It's good to watch when it's free-flowing.
Here's McLennan trying to isolate Lustig, but using all his experience, the Swedish international there. It's a rare chance for Aberdeen to have some possession in Celtic's final third.
The opportunity though, they've got Cosgrove in the middle, throw it in. Good form this season.
Brown snapping away, there's no time for McLennan now. It's lofted into the middle, up goes Bain, and he had to rise high even just to get a fist above Ferguson, who's a real aerial threat.
Pushing that back from Ferguson. You want to see your keeper come and catch those.
Brown. May trying not to give him any peace at all. Brown's ball back to Lustig, just a bit overhit. The Swede, whose contract is up at the end of the season. The suggestion is he will wait until then to make a decision on his future.
I think a lot may depend on whether Neil Lennon stays or goes, Rory. I think there's a few players looking at that as well.
There's also a good few who were tied down to long-term deals earlier on in the season. The likes of McGregor and Christie. Forrest, Kieran Tierney's contract all the way to 2023. They're very well protected with their prized assets, Celtic. Aberdeen have done a pretty good job of that too, with the likes of Scott McKenna and Lewis Ferguson signing new deals. Sam Cosgrove too. Graham Shinney, the suggestion looks like he will be one that will get away. Derek McInnes was sure that ball was out of play. Play on, say the officials.
Celtic are used to this type of game. Team sitting deep. You know, you just have to move the ball quick. Try and take minimum touches. Try and move the Aberdeen midfield, try and get someone to switch off, and then you can pierce them.
It's a system that Aberdeen can play quite well as well, though their away record is superb this season.
The ball boy got involved there. It's a moment he will never forget. Keeps it in really well. Lovely first touch.
Oh, the enthusiasm of the big occasion.
Well, you would think now, you know, there was a lot made of. Yeah, well done, Alton Edouard. The ball's going out for a goal kick. Right decision.
Who'll be the happier of the two camps at this stage?
Look, I think that Derek McInnes will be happy that Aberdeen, albeit haven't created anything, they're still in this. Šimunović, big opportunity, smart save from Lewis. So I think McInnes will be the happier. There'll be a frustration from Neil Lennon. The side not taking their chances.
Very even record between Derek McInnes and Neil Lennon. 18 matches between the two as managers. McInnes has won 8, Lennon 8, and 2 draws.
I just got a different vibe from the Aberdeen players and manager this week, talking in the press ahead of the game, that they really believed they could come here today and win. You know, I think previously when they've played against Celtic, it's been Brendan Rodgers. I don't think they've really believed that, so it seems a different mentality.
Have Celtic lost that aura a little since Brendan left?
I think they've lost the aura this season. It's been pretty flat.
Stevie May turns it back inside to Cosgrove. Ball into the middle. It's deflected out to the edge for Forrest to clear. Stewart now. Dom Ball once more. It's Cosgrove. That's wide of the target.
Well, should be pretty simple for Aberdeen in terms of the game plan. Get the ball wide and get crosses in, because he is a danger. Cosgrove, confidence is up. Just nice technique. Just way off target.
Oh, and Christie has taken a really sore one. It was Dom Ball in there who has already been booked, but Ryan
he's going to go.
It is a second yellow card for Dominic Ball. He is off. Ryan Christie still down on the turf, hurt, but Dom Ball has been sent off after just 36 minutes of this William Hill Scottish Cup semi-final. And what a hammer blow it is for Aberdeen.
Well, I don't think Craig Thompson has got much choice there. I do think that it's both players who are committed going for the ball, but the fact he doesn't get the ball, he catches Christie, and let's hope Ryan Christie is all right. But it was the softness of the first yellow card. But poor Christie, I mean, really takes one there. He had to go. There's his dad, worried, father looking on.
Mikey Devlin now getting his instructions from Derek McInnes, who was actually at Celtic as a youngster, and well, Hampden Park rising to salute Ryan Christie. Spent 18 months, and you can see Charlie, his father, will be nipping down pitch side just to try and get the latest and give as much encouragement to his son as possible. Derek McInnes too, who knows him so well. Well, Tom Rogic is on. And Stevie May is the unfortunate Aberdeen player who makes way for Mikey Devlin.
Now down to 10 men, the task becomes even harder for Aberdeen. They were struggling to keep Celtic at bay with 11. So it's going to be a tough ask.
McKenna just launching that one long. Aberdeen are going to have to absorb an awful lot of pressure for what remains of this game, what remains of this half as well, which will have lengthy amount of stoppage time at the end of it. Loose pass though, picked off by Lowe, and joy for Cosgrove, but Lowe has won it back. Brown gets a touch, but it comes only to McLennan. Brown snapping into challenge after challenge, but McLennan fighting away. Aberdeen outnumbered, but not to be outfought. Here's Devlin, and his first touch is to send one high to Cosgrove. It's a pretty big target. Now Campbell. Stewart. And Ferguson! Well, some of the best football Aberdeen have played.
Really brave in possession. Ferguson isolates Tierney, just catches him. On the way down, Tierney. That's what they need to do. Aberdeen, get the ball wide. Get the ball in the box.
I think with Aberdeen being down to 10, they're going to have to be brave in possession. They're going to have to pass it a little bit more. I don't think Kieran Tierney's happy with the challenge of Lewis Ferguson. I'm not too sure it was actually the challenge or what happened after the challenge. Kieran Tierney pointing to Stephen McLean, one of the assistants behind the goal.
Tierney back on with things. There'll be 6 minutes to be added at the end of this first half. 0-0 after 45. Celtic have the numerical advantage. Forrest. Tierney.
In many ways, it piles the pressure on Neil Lennon even more as manager. Celtic don't go through now.
Shimunovic to Brown. Now Johnny Hayes, curling delivery. Backtracking was Andrew Considine. Devlin, only find Rogic. McGregor, Shimunovic. Lustig encouraged forward. There's McKenna.
That centre half stepping in again. He's done it well. Shimunovic in this first half.
Nice turn by James Forrest. Oh! A goal that lights up the semi-final from James Forrest. Quite brilliant from the winger. He so often rises to the big occasion, and he has done it once more. That was superb. Celtic lead in the semi-final.
Well, Aberdeen camped in. You felt it was always going to take something a little bit special, but just how good is that strike from James Forrest? Good awareness on the turn, head up, one thing on his mind, and it's perfection. Left foot, 25 yards out, no chance for the goalkeeper. Have some of that.
And that's how you unlock a deep defence. You take a little bit of responsibility, you use your individual quality, and wow, that is simply stunning from James Forrest. What a way to open the goal scoring in this semi-final. Simply sensational.
He is a man for the big occasion. Scored in League Cup finals, one against Aberdeen, now a semi-final in the Scottish Cup.
I'm telling you now, Rory, there's a lot of Celtic players this season who haven't turned up. He hasn't been one of them. I think he's been outstanding all season.
Edouard now to Lustig on the return. He goes down looking for something, I think, more out of hope than anything else. Forrest low in ahead of Edouard, but now the Frenchman has it back. Forrest!
Insane.
Big save from Lewis. A second goal might just finish off Aberdeen.
Tell you what, that was some save from Joe Lewis.
Lustig now. Again, it was Shimunovic well forward. Cosgrove losing the battle with Ayer.
They just can't get up the pitch, Aberdeen, when they win the ball. It's just clearance, and back comes Celtic.
Tierney, McGregor now racing forward. They all want a piece of the action. McLennan has to go back to clear his lines. And Cosgrove has a really difficult task now, but he's won a very handy free kick there.
Yeah, he does very well. He buys this one, feels the contact, and goes down. He's got to do that for his team. I don't think there's much in that at all. That's what he has to do. But this save from Lewis, Forrest does really well. Gets the shot off early. This is Aberdeen's opportunity.
Still a couple of minutes to play in this first half. That goes straight into the arms of Scott Bain.
What a waste.
Devlin that took it. And all the noise is coming from the vast Celtic support inside Hampden.
There's been a lot of talk about James Forrest. What's his best position? Where does he thrive the best? I just like the fact he comes off the line an awful lot more as a wide player. Picks up great pockets of space.
Well, Brown shielding the ball with his body there. Hayes drops it back to Tierney, and he's the one to send it in with Lustig at the back post. On target, but straight forward for Lewis.
I don't mind that Celtic crossing balls into the box. I think at times try and overplay.
Well, they came out the blocks really looking in the mood, Celtic. They were then stifled for a bit, but now they're bringing their swagger and they're looking to finish this game before half-time. Down goes McGregor. There will be a goal kick. Was Ferguson involved again?
He has to be careful. I like Ferguson, but he shoves him to the ground. I really don't know what Craig Thompson is seeing there. Is that an indifferent half, Craig Thompson?
Neil Lennon making his case to Nick Walsh. That will be that for the first half, and James Forrest brought a stunning moment to Hampden Park that separates the sides in stoppage time at the end of the first half, which saw Ryan Christie go off with a really bad-looking head knock. In the same incident, Dominic Ball saw a second yellow card and was sent off. Forrest's goal separates the sides. It's Aberdeen 0, Celtic 1. Thank you very much, Starrell. Celtic, as things stand, on their way to their 58th Scottish Cup final. They've won 38 of those, but never 3 in a row. The last to do that, Aberdeen in 82, 83 and 84. And it is up to Derek McInnes's 10 men to try and bring out something special in this second half to halt this rampant Celtic side. And the second half is underway, and straight away Sam Cosgrove feels he should have had a foul there.
Thought it was a foul, Sam Cosgrove. Once again, Celtic find themselves playing against a team with 10 men. They struggled a little bit against Hearts and at times against Rangers, so you have to say that Aberdeen aren't out of it just yet.
There goes Shimunovic to Forrest. Now Lustig to Brown.
I think the boys are spot on at half-time. Aberdeen going to have to be resilient, defend deep, keep it at 1-0 as long as possible to give themselves a chance of a set play or a moment of magic. With regard to Celtic, they just want to get the next goal and put the game to bed.
Here's Ayer stepping forward. That will be a free kick.
As again, said earlier, reiterate it, the centre half stepping in have done really well for Celtic.
It's another foul from Lewis Ferguson. He had a few in that first half. Celtic on with things quickly, and out comes Joe Lewis.
You can't get away with many more, Lewis Ferguson.
Well, Tony Docherty will spend the rest of the game in the stand. He has been sent up there by Craig Thompson for unacceptable behaviour as the teams were coming off at the break. Mikael Lustig searching out Johnny Hayes. It's forward from Ferguson. And Stewart can only help it on into the path of Jozo Shimunovic. Now Rogic didn't have much time to have an influence since coming on for Ryan Christie towards the end of that first half, but it was in that spell that James Forrest opened the scoring, and Edward tries to get McKenna turned.
Defending again from McKenna. Doesn't try and commit too early. Just bides his time.
Shimunovic now to Lustig, and Brown can settle into that deep roll. Gregor.
Derek McInnes has slightly changed the shape. It almost looks like a 4-3-2 with Greg Stewart trying to get in touch with Sam Cosgrove. I think when you leave one up the pitch, it's difficult to get up and down.
Rogic to Brown. Lustig. Aberdeen just trying to compress the middle of the park. Brown for Shimunovic. He's not been shy of strutting forward. Ayer to Shimunovic. Forrest. Brown. It's all Celtic in terms of possession. Forrest. Now Hayes and Tierney. Hayes again. McGregor. All the Aberdeen players back trying to defend this. It comes to Lustig and just hit Odsonne Edouard in the chest.
Really patient in the build-up play. I don't think Edwards could have done much with this. Lustig off his shin to Edouard. chance gone.
Five previous semi-final meetings between the two, Celtic have won 4 of them, including the last one in 2011, which was a heavy victory after an early red card that was shown to Andrew Considine. Ferguson.
Sure, Neil Lennon would have been emphasising at half-time, don't give away silly, cheap free kicks in this second half and allow Aberdeen a chance to get the ball into the box from a set piece.
Stewart. Now to Campbell. Picks out Scott McKenna. Max Lowe. And Lowe just loses his footing. Just to rub salt into the wound for Aberdeen a little there. Rogic has done well to feed Forrest, and this is where Celtic can be such a danger. Here goes Rogic again. Hayes just had to hold his run on the far left-hand side before he can toss it in for Edouard. Now Lustig. Celtic trying to keep some tempo in their attack, but Tierney's ball straight to Ferguson.
Good from Shimunovic.
Tug from McLennan.
Win the ball back, Shimunovic picking it up off Cosgrove's toes.
I think that will have been a message from Neil Lennon at half-time as well, is keep the intensity high. When you're down to 10 men, you can fatigue quicker.
Hayes. And now McGregor at pace, it's McGregor, and it comes out off Lowe. And it's worked out very nicely for Aberdeen there, because that could have gone anywhere, and they've got the free kick too.
Well, too many Celtic players, they work it really well. Too many Celtic players on their heels. This is a golden opportunity, and not one of them, Edouard, Forrest, I think Rogic, gambles. The chance is gone.
It then becomes a silly free kick from Shimunovic. Celtic have the pressure on. He switched off. He just clearly blocks Sam Cosgrove. Gary McInnes furious.
Not this time for Sam Cosgrove. Ball getting away from him there. Celtic haven't conceded in the Scottish Cup this season. In fact, haven't conceded in the last 6 William Hill Scottish Cup games, going back to Connor Salmon last season in the 3-2 victory at Celtic Park against Partick Thistle. Edouard. Forrest, and that will be a free kick and also a yellow card for Andrew Considine. There was a brilliant, smart 1-2 from Celtic.
It's really clever from Edouard. Little give and go. That's the part of James Forrest's game which has really improved. Years ago, used to take the ball, want the ball for himself. Now he has that awareness.
Just too quick, isn't it? You know, they move the ball ever so well. Edouard's got a great turn of pace. Andrew Considine committed himself in a really dangerous position for Celtic to get the second goal.
It's Callum McGregor and Odsonne Edouard who fancy this. You can see Scott Brown hovering around the penalty spot. He's had a good Scottish Cup so far with a couple of goals, including in the last round against his old club Hibs. It's left for Odsonne Edouard. Clips the top of that red wall. Devlin can clear, but nobody forward for Aberdeen. It's easy for Tierney and Hayes to retain possession and feed Forrest, and that's what Celtic are so keen to do all day long. It's just behind Rogic. Forrest still sniffing about for any mistake, but Dean Campbell wasn't offering him anything of that. And now Brown and Cosgrove go down. Wasn't spotted by Thompson, so he can't give anything. More complaints from Derek McInnes as the decision he feels doesn't go their way. Brown now down the outside for Hayes. Good challenge coming in from McLennan.
Well tracked. McLennan. Good pass from Scott Brown. Here's the coming together. I don't think there's too much in that.
McGregor to Brown. Cries of shoot from the Celtic support. Lustig. Lowe will get there. Shabunovic's touch only into the path of Campbell. Now McLennan.
And it's important when Aberdeen win the ball. You know, they have to make 2 or 3 passes. They may have to take a couple of risks, but they have to try and play themselves up the pitch. You know, we've watched already throwing it forward early towards Cosgrove hasn't really worked so far.
Brown to collect. Shabunovic can feed Lustig. I think Aberdeen knew what was coming in this second half. They just need to stick in there for as long as possible. Campbell's header out only as far as Forrest. Lustig giving him the option ahead. Now Shabunovic on Cosgrove, who is told to get up by Craig Thompson.
I have to say, I thought that was a foul. Shabunovic, he has to commit there.
Edouard. This time it's a foul by Cosgrove.
I think it's frustration from Cosgrove. You know, he feels a little bit hard done by, and some free kicks he feels he possibly should have had go his way. And he's clearly put a foul in on Edouard. This is the one you're talking about, Chris. I think it is. You can see Simunovic's left arm clearly leaning into the back of Sam Cosgrove. We watched him recently against St Mirren, and we felt that night that he was just being a little bit naive in his defending at times, Simunovic.
Callum McGregor over this one this time. Johnny Hayes joining him, but it's quickly taken out to Forrest, trying to catch Aberdeen unawares. Hayes now. Forrest again, faced up by Lowe. It comes to Rogic, touched on by Lustig.
Once again, lovely spot from James Forrest.
Proving to be the main man again on the big stage for Celtic. Considine. Brown in ahead of Lowe. Kieran Tierney.
Thing Aberdeen do have. They have bags and bags of guts. They'll dig in, stay in the game.
It's not often an Aberdeen side that you see losing by more than a goal. Hayes. Now Lustig. Forrest. It's clipped towards Edouard at the back post, and the Frenchman was fouling Lewis Ferguson.
Stands it up really well, James Forrest. I tell you what, it really should have gone the other way. I think Ferguson's a lucky boy. He's all over Edouard. Once again, Craig Thompson. I think he's guessed there. That was more of a Celtic penalty than an Aberdeen free kick.
Tierney. Edouard got the touch on to skipper Scott Brown. Rogic and McGregor. That's a clever pass from him. He's such an intelligent footballer. Lustig. And Hayes has got in here. Down he goes. Penalty kick. Mikey Devlin with the challenge on Johnny Hayes, his former teammate. And Celtic will have a penalty kick here.
Yeah, Devlin, I think he should head the first one, and then Hayes gets a run on him. It's a tangling of legs just there. He's brought down. It's an easy decision for Craig Thompson to make. And what a chance to put this tie to bed.
Neil Lennon knows the magnitude of this moment. Edouard against Lewis. Odsonne Edouard with pace and power, low into the corner, and is that the goal that takes Celtic into the William Hill Scottish Cup final? It's a long way back for Aberdeen now.
It's really composed. Edouard from the spot. Couple of steps. Good pace on the ball. Joe Lewis goes the right way, but there's no stopping that. Relief for Neil Lennon.
I think you're spot on, Chris. Relief is the word. His side had been dominant from minute one, irrespective of Aberdeen now being down to 10 men. Celtic have been far better, streets ahead of Aberdeen this afternoon. But at 1-0 in football, you just never know. So he will be a relief man, he'll be pleased, and the Celtic fans are also delighted.
Feel for Mikey Devlin there. Should have headed the first cross in and let it go. It was an accidental coming together. It was a penalty. And now Aberdeen, they have to gamble. They're going to leave themselves wide open.
And now Hayes is looking to run at Devlin again. He's by him once more. It's all the way to the back for Lustig arriving, and that will be a Celtic corner.
Well, do you know what? Before the game, I was thinking, big call, Neil Lennon, Hayes over Weir. He's been very good, Johnny Hayes. Direct running power, positive.
McGregor towards Brown. Tierney and Edouard now. Ferguson backtracking. Edouard, Ferguson got an important touch, but it's there for Brown. Forrest, Brown, and he was caught late by Max Lowe, who's going to go into Craig Thompson's book here.
It's just too quick. You know, Max Lowe, he commits himself. There's nothing else in his mind. He wants to make contact with Scott Brown, but it's quick feet by Brown. Craig Thompson spot on.
Two balls on the pitch momentarily. Scott Brown making friends. There'll be a change coming up for Aberdeen, and James Wilson will be the one to come on, so an attacker, but getting the ball up there has been the problem.
Edouard's good from this range. Seen him score from here before.
It is on St Edward again. It's into the wall. Slashed at the second one, but it took a touch and will be a corner kick.
Talked about too much there. He's growing in the Celtic shirt. I still think he could be more consistent.
Celtic always thought that he was a project, somebody that did have to develop. It's working out nicely as McGregor sends it into the middle, away by Ferguson. Seven domestic trophies in a row. An 8th will be delivered soon, and a 9th will be on the line on the 25th of May, back here, unless there's to be a dramatic change in circumstances in this fixture this afternoon. You simply can't see it right now. And it's going to be up to Heart of Midlothian to break Celtic's treble dreams.
So isolated though, Cosgrove. Red ball on his way. Thankless task.
Forrest to Callum McGregor, and now there's this area for Lustig to move into. Picks out Forrest. Brown and McGregor. Tierney. Hayes gives an offer, but Tierney picks out Rogic, and now it is Lewis Ferguson who sees red. Aberdeen down to 9. Well, we thought he'd been walking a tightrope for a yellow card. And Lewis Ferguson, it's a straight red for him. And he will make his way up the tunnel to join Dominic Ball. Aberdeen are gone now in this semi-final. There is no way back.
Well, he's a talented young man, but that is an absolute shocker. Idiotic from Ferguson. Lost his head, 2-footer challenge. I mean, why not just do it a couple of yards away from the referee? Brainless. And now, it was a long way back, impossible. Stupidity.
I don't know what's gone through his head. There's no way. Even if he makes contact with the ball, the referee's going to take some sort of action. He has left his teammates hanging. 10 men, it was tough. 9 men, it's impossible. No wonder they're leaving. No wonder they're away. Ridiculous tackle.
Well, now it seems just a formality for Celtic as we go into the final quarter of the game. It's too much for some of the visiting Aberdeen fans to take. Mikael Lustig trying to go under the wall. Rogic does find the corner of the net. He shows the way, and Celtic are bringing their A game now. Adding insult to injury for Aberdeen. They're down to 9 men. Celtic are 3 up and coast coasting to the final.
Aberdeen fans leaving in their droves. Get the car started. It's a wonderful finish from Rogic. Whatever Lustig is doing on free kicks, I don't know, but as the ball breaks, such a talent, Tom Rogic places it 22-23 yards into the corner. Game over. Wonderful finish.
You're spot on about Rogic. Such a gifted football player. The game looks as if it's easy for him at times. He's a natural talent. Wonderful footballing ability, footballing brain. And we all know on the big stage, he can come up with the big goals, and what a finish that is. They kill this game off.
Along comes Stephen Gleeson for Aberdeen as Greg Stewart makes his way off. James Wilson may not be getting the opportunity to come on, but with 9 men for Aberdeen, it is mission impossible. Celtic will probably just have some fun for the final 20 minutes here. Tierney to Hayes. They're going to go and search out more. He almost caught out Joe Lewis there, who just got enough on it to turn it out for a corner kick.
Well, I wondered whether this was a shot or a cross from that angle. I think he's actually meant that, Johnny Hayes.
That's the Johnny Hayes that we remember from Aberdeen, being direct, taking people on, lighting the game up. Today he's been excellent.
McGregor takes. Shimunovic helps it on. Rogic. Thought about the spectacular. Low slides in. Rogic again. Lustig managed to keep it in play. Forrest now, and Gleeson. His first involvement is to knock it out for another Celtic corner, and you feel that the vast majority of the final 19 minutes will be spent down in this final third of the park. And Celtic just looking for more and more goals. They're here for a party, and they will be back on the 25th of May. There's Tierney. Gets it back from Hayes.
I think even with 11 men, you know, we watched in the first half a Celtic team who meant business. They knew the enormity of this game. Neil Lennon, I'm sure, was probably nervous before the game. This Celtic team know how to come to Hampden Park and win. Over the past 2.5 years, on the big occasion, they have turned up and they have delivered.
"13 Scottish Cup match victories in a row. This will be number 14, and the aggregate scores for those now standing at 47 goals scored, just 4 conceded by Celtic in that run. Quite incredible, and they're now looking to start to make some changes to their team. Of course, Rogic, one substitute already on. Sinclair will be joining the action soon.
Don't underestimate how big a victory this is for Neil Lennon, and performance-wise, our Celtic fans quite rightly have felt performances haven't been so good, the likes of Livingston. Now Aberdeen at home, 9 goals in 8 games before today for Neil Lennon's team, but this has been emphatic, this performance.
Well, Derek McInnes now is going to join Tony Docherty in the stands. He is being sent off. 2 outfield players have been red carded, and the Aberdeen manager and his assistant have now been sent to the stand. Ill discipline infecting this Aberdeen day. And he's better to get out of there sooner rather than later.
Well, the Reds are all seeing red. Can understand his frustration. It's been a bad day for Derek McInnes.
Well, Celtic will now make their changes as Johnny Hayes makes his way off. Against his old club, he won the penalty. They got the second goal, which at that stage looked like the clincher. Big day for Johnny Hayes. He'll have loved getting the nod to start the game, and he's repaid Neil Lennon with a top performance. Likewise, James Forrest. We always knew he would start, and we always thought he would have a big influence. He's replaced by Timo Weah and Scott Sinclair on the other flank. It won't get any easier for Aberdeen with those two on. We thought the benches would have a telling influence as the game went on. Well, they're coming on into a situation where this game is done as a contest, and Shimunovic, it all started with him almost looking like he'd opened the scoring.
Well, interesting, Benkovic on the bench. I know he has a foot injury, but he's done himself no harm this afternoon. Very good in possession.
I think Aberdeen knew it was always going to be a tough ask today. Graeme Shinnie suspended. Of course, Nan McGinn being injured yesterday certainly didn't help in the build-up. Derek McInnes may have been fearful coming into this game. His young side may not have had enough to cope, and they haven't.
Well, they've got a rare opportunity to send the ball into the Celtic box here, which Stephen Gleeson will take. It's calmly headed away by Lustig. Lowe has it now. He's just got no options up there. The incident involving Derek McInnes was reported by Nick Walsh, unhappy with the treatment that he received from the Aberdeen manager. And Craig Thompson intervened and dismissed Derek McInnes up to the stand. Sinclair, he'll be very keen to make an impression in this game after missing out on a starting spot.
Well, I think since Neil Lennon has been in charge, clearly saying Scott Sinclair isn't for me. So this is an opportunity. Seems to have lost his confidence. Hat-trick up at Pittodrie on Boxing Day. He hasn't started in the last 4 games for Celtic. It's going to be a tough watch for the final 13 minutes for Derek McInnes. Gleeson now. Shimunovic away. Maxlow is hunting for scraps, but Celtic now can break forward, and Lustig, and there's space all the way over on the left-hand side for Sinclair. Takes it down well. McGregor goes ahead of him. Rogic. Weah. He's still going. Timo Weah. No penalty. And Gleeson was caught by Rogic. I like Weah Never gives up. There's not enough in that. Loses the ball, tries to win it back as quickly as possible. He's a talent.
I think ahead of this game today, Neil Lennon knew the potential. Final trophy for treble. Aberdeen were a big opponent for him, a tough ask, but with what, 11-12 minutes to go at 3-0, he'll be ecstatic.
Sinclair back to Tierney. Well, Aberdeen now, with the rest of their season to go, will desperately want to seek out a European position. They're behind Kilmarnock on goal difference at the moment.
They may well want Celtic to win the final, Rory.
Good point, to make an extra place available from the league positions. They're dropped down to 4th, which is where they currently occupy. Here's McLennan. Andrew Considine, he was offside. Rogic just wouldn't quite stick, unusually for him. Campbell will go all the way back to Lewis. Rogic was interested for a moment.
There's not been many games when Neil Lennon has been in charge where he's been able to breathe easily. Today,
he didn't have a wonderful record at Hampden in his first spell. 6 wins from 11 games, a few high-profile defeats. Like his first semi-final actually was the defeat here to Ross County. But there has been absolutely no doubt today, and here's Edouard, just a bit behind Weah. Sinclair again. Devlin will scramble it clear.
It's just such an excitement in the Celtic front three. Sinclair's on, Weah, Edouard, so positive, very good in 1v1 situations. Desperate for a slice of the glory today with a goal.
McGregor to Brown. Lustig. They all want to get in on the act for Celtic. Good interception from Max Lowe. But there really is nowhere to go.
It's soul-destroying 9 men. You can't get up the pitch. You're looking at the clock, desperate for the final whistle to go. Because it's been so tough in the second half for Aberdeen.
Way up, cleared away by McLennan. It will just be coming back though. Line of red jerseys struck by Weah.
I'd like to see Celtic make a move and get him back next season. Weah brought something to this team, mostly off the bench.
Not had the chance to start too many games. Thibaut Weah, on loan from Paris Saint-Germain. He did sign a 1-year extension to his contract before making the 6-month move to Scotland, but I'm sure Celtic will be keen to extend that for next season. Sinclair looking to extend the lead. That characteristic finish that he loves on the right foot, looking for the far top corner. couldn't quite execute it there.
Do you think the managerial position, Chris, will be a key part in terms of Weir potentially coming back?
I think it will. I think Celtic need to make a decision sooner rather than later.
Here's Edouard, Rogic. They have 3. They're looking for more. Can Sinclair deliver 4? Well, it's a good sliding challenge coming in from Devlin. They didn't quite have the accuracy there, though.
That's a great block, but he takes too long, Sinclair. Lovely spot from Rogic. Lifts the ball up. It's a poor touch. Devlin. Good defending.
Tierney gets the call from the corner. Chris Iyer will turn 21 on Wednesday. Wasn't to be encouraged into the 40-yard pile driver. Here goes Tierney. Nice pick out from McGregor. Mikael Lustig. Oh, it's just wide. And it was Jozo Šimunović again. He could have had a hat-trick today.
What is he doing there? Again, Šimunović just held back in from Lustig. Oh, he's not far away. I'm not so sure Joe Lewis is getting this. Ah, the old shinner. Craggs.
A few of those, yeah.
Well, Sam Cosgrove will head off, and James Wilson on loan from Manchester United is on.
Well, Wilson on. It's Aberdeen who have been cast away.
Just on Šimunović, you just wonder the last time he had 3 attempts on goal.
I think there was a 4th as well.
I was almost going to say, what season was it? Never mind, what game was it?
Sinclair. Tierney. Getting anything out of that ball. What will Hearts and Craig Levein look at this and to try and pick apart this Celtic side, or can they learn very, very little from this sort of a game?
Look, I think that Hearts have their threat. They need the centre forward fit, Nick Piezo, and on his day he's a handful for absolutely anyone. They haven't been in great form, Hearts. Second half of the season especially, missed big players. We know they seem to raise their game at times when they play Celtic. And Craig Levein will be hoping he can raise it one more time.
He's beaten them already this season, a long time ago, back in August at the beginning of the league campaign, but they were the team to end Brendan Rodgers' long unbeaten run a year ago last December.
To be honest, Craig Levein and the Hearts players and supporters would have been sitting today hoping that Aberdeen could pull off a major shock and get to the final. They know how good a side Celtic are, how tough it's going to be for them in the final. They will hope for a positive end of the league season and then give it all back here in May.
Sinclair. Now Edouard. Good ball out to Lustig. He took it well too and low with the block. Loose from Šimunović. Wilson and Campbell combine. Gleeson. Wilson providing the run forward. Devlin couldn't find him.
I think the major thing Craig Levein will take from this game today, watching it, you have to keep 11 men in the pitch. To be competitive and give yourself any chance of beating Celtic, you have to keep your discipline. You have to make sure keep 11 players on the pitch.
This has been Neil Lennon's best performance since he has returned. It wasn't an easy job coming back. Everything to lose in many respects.
Edward, Sinclair, Brown, Lustig to Weah, cut off by McLennan. Brown. Tierney. Aberdeen came with such confidence, believing they could win in Glasgow again. Circumstances not going in their favour, and a lot of that within their control. Their discipline at times has been out of control, and that has cost them big time. But also, you have to say the quality of Celtic has been far and above. McGregor in the final minute of normal time. Ayer. Oh, and Edward strikes it. Called Joe Lewis into action.
You can't give him time and space from this range. An excellent free kick taker. It's a really good save from Lewis.
We haven't got enough players to close him down, that's the problem.
Brown. And now Rogic. He got the third.
The bigger concern for Derek McInnes will be that he will hope this match doesn't derail their season. They've got 5 big games coming up to get themselves into European football again. Lewis Ferguson, you think, with a straight red card may miss some league games, but he will hope it doesn't detract away from what so far has been a decent season for them.
Alex McLeish. Craig Brown looking on. Aberdeen have been second best to Celtic in 5 of their 7 recent trophy wins, but they've been second best by a long, long way this afternoon. Sinclair, 2 minutes to be added here. Brown, and again. Scott Brown, encouraged on by more than half of the stadium. Edward. Lustig goes for the return. There will be another corner for the Dons defence to face.
The perfect afternoon for Neil Lennon and Celtic. Questions asked of them. Could they step up? They have done today.
Edward gets the return. They'd love a fourth. They might not quite get it. Ayer. Celtic will now just happily play out the final seconds, imperious as ever, and it will be Heart of Midlothian against Celtic in the William Hill Scottish Cup final for the first time since 1956. Celtic rumble on to another final. It is just what they do. Any challenge laid down, they have just swatted it aside and moved on to the next. May the 25th is the date. Heart of Midlothian will be the opponent in the William Hill Scottish Cup final. That's on the line. So too is the treble. Full time at Hampden Park. Aberdeen 0, Celtic 3.